Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to Just Fun Stuff and another early morning here on Funland. It is 6 o'clock in the morning, but I couldn't wait to get started. I haven't done a build in a while, and I've been working really hard on putting the items together for this one. I'm doing my very own point of view build. It is the point of view of a skyline from like a little city park in the background, and I'm really excited and I can't wait to get started. Okay, so I'm working with an existing cliffside that's there, but I decided to kind of modify as I go. I've never done a build like this. Trying to create something smaller to look, something bigger to look smaller is the word I'm looking for. I've toured a bunch of islands that have really unique, special skylines. I've tried to take some inspiration from them, but again, I've never done a build like this. So right now I'm in the trial and error phase. You can see at the bottom too, I had already previously laid out a tiny bit of the path that I'm going to be using because I wanted it as close to the cliffside as possible, knowing that I was going to put items over top of it and you're not really going to see the edging of it. So I really wanted to have that down, and then we would finish the path as we get closer to finishing the build. But you can see kind of what I'm going with there. Now, if you did notice that little change there, the first panels I put up, I had found a creator code for city windows, and I really liked them because they kind of matched the way the servers looked in their color and pattern. But when I put them together, it just felt like too much, and it wasn't really looking like a building the way I wanted it to. So I basically mid-build pulled up the Able Sisters app, just typed in windows, and found the ones that I liked the most. And I found these ones with the cute little balconies, and it very much gave like a New York apartment kind of feel, and I fell in love with them. So no creator code there, just go to Able Sisters, type in windows, pick a window that you like. But I loved this one. So now putting them together with the panels, and I put some of the wood burning stoves. I don't know if you saw that go down, but I put a wood burning stove in the back because I just like the pipe, and it's gonna add a lot of height. Now I'm doing this build on the second level of Funland, the third level being the one that we're on right now, placing the panel. So I couldn't go up any higher as far as adding cliffside. So to really give it some dimension, I was trying to find items that are all different heights, different textures, trying to create that skyline feel without having to build up a third level. Now that I've done it, I think doing a third level might be really interesting because you can really add some different heights, but I think we're achieving that with just the items that we're using. Now it's a matter of layering. Layering the servers, simple panels, and everything else we're gonna do. Oh, I found this really cute pattern for a Coca-Cola symbol. So I went ahead and customized the small LED screen to have that going across, because you know when you go into the city you always see the advertisements flashing across the screens, and I really wanted to add that in. Plus at nighttime it's just going to be added light in the city. Now comes in the giant wedding pipe organ. Again, my thoughts were maybe we could use it to make kind of a really regal looking tall building, and in theory I liked it, but then when I went to place it, the shaping was odd. I'm, again, using limited cliffside because I have limited space to do my full build. So I decided to not go in that direction and to just use the items that I had, which is the fencing and the panels and the servers and the LED screens. Definitely the utility poles are going to add some height and dimension. The wood burning stoves are going to add some height and dimension. But if you have more room, definitely try different. There's so many objects in the game that you can use to create that look of a building. I mean, I had drink machines originally when I was kind of playing around with it, bookshelves, all sorts of things that you can use. But this is what I used for the space that I had, and I think it's turning out really well. It really took me a long time to figure out the film projector. I think I finally got it on like the 5th try and turned on, and decided that was the only one I was going to put in because, again, I'm doing this is on a small scale. I've seen people do these huge skylines. I'm doing mine not as big because, again, this is a point of view build, and you'll see as we get further along what I'm talking about. But right now, just adding layers of servers, simple panels, and different height objects to create the look that I'm going for. I did put the lighthouse in originally because I thought I like the idea of the light flashing in the back. And after I start walking around and looking, I will be taking out the lighthouse because it just didn't work for me in this particular build. Now, if you have more space and you can add stuff like that, that's awesome, because I love the big skyline builds that have all the different textures, heights, buildings. I almost thought about putting a pagoda in the back at one point because I thought that would look really neat, like a different style of building. But again, I'm doing mine on kind of a small scale. But if you do a city skyline, or if you have one that's bigger and it's got all the different items, let me know. I'd love to see them. Again, adding more of the LCD screens, more of the wood-burning stoves, adding some street lights in the back, not as street lamps, but just as additional lighting to kind of light up the back. And to kind of close it off, I used the scaffolding put on its side because I thought it's not really a building, but it adds something to the look, and it looks more industrial than just a cliffside ending. I had an LCD TV, and I thought the same thing as the little LCD signs. It kind of looks like one of those big TV screens like they'd have in Times Square with all of the advertisements on it. So I put one of those up instead of the lighthouse. Just gave more of the city feel for me. Again, more scaffolding. Then I put up a couple of cypress plants because I wanted to mimic the look of a big tree, but again, on a smaller scale. So I used the cypress plants, and then I used the short, simple panels to kind of cover the bottom of them, the pot. So it gives that illusion that it's possibly just a big tree in the background, not a potted plant. But you can see the skylines all now put together. And now it's a matter of finishing the roadway or the freeway. So we're putting down the lines through the center, then we'll finish off with the other side. I didn't want to make it too wide. I kind of played around with wider and smaller, and I decided to go smaller because, again, I'm working on a limited level of ground here on Funland, and I knew I still had to put the addition of the quote-unquote river across, then the fencing in the park. So I didn't want the roadway to take up too much of the space. Now we're putting in the river, and nothing fancy here. Again, point of view build. It's going to be going straight across. So I wasn't worried about making beautiful, natural looking curves in it. I didn't care because it's all just going to be straight across. So super simple. I finally got to use my pocket campers and trailers, and I was really excited about that. So they just look like little cars on the freeway in front of our big city build, and I just thought that was just so cute. Now widening off our little river, so you can see you're starting to get the feel of the whole point of view. Now putting up the fencing. The fencing is everything. Once you put the fence up, it almost feels like you're on a different level from where the city is. It makes it almost look higher, like you're looking down over the river and you can see across. So fencing was huge. Now we're just creating the park, and the park it's simple. It's just a city little park. I wanted guarded benches. I wanted a couple of the pine trees. I think, yeah, the evergreen ashes, the street lamps for a little bit of light, the evergreen ashes just to kind of fill up space in the back. There's going to be some cypress plants, but again, it's not crazy fancy over here. It's just a city park where you would walk through and sit down and look across the river at the big city across. So adding in a few plants, and now you can see the point of view. You can stand along the fence. The building is done. You can take a look and you can see all the buildings, the short ones, the tall ones. You can see the cars going. You can see the river. It just looks so cute. Now, this was my favorite part. When you cross over and you walk into it, all of a sudden everything looks tiny again. Like it's a little miniature city. But then when you go back across, you get the point of view from the park side. And again, it looks like, oh, look, there's a big city over there. And I just thought it was so much fun. And of course, I couldn't let you not see it at night. The servers all lit up, the signs lit up, the LCD TV lit up, the street lamps. It looks like a city at night. And I was really, really happy with the way it turned out. I thought it was really fun, a really cute build. I was really, really happy with it. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I did making it. If you enjoyed this build, don't forget to leave a thumbs up or subscribe to the channel. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You are truly appreciated. And I'm going to be back with more Animal Crossing videos.